Hello everyone and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick. Welcome to my daily ramble. Going to start as I always do. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, please. And drop a like on the video. I don't just say that for my health. It does really help us. It really does. So please drop a like on the video. It tells YouTube to share it around. It keeps me spirits up. Keeps me spirits up. I need that after the last few days. I'm going to be talking about West Ham and I will talk about England at the end of the video so that if you're Scottish or if you're watching it after the game, you ain't got to suffer me talking about England, all right? So that'll be towards the end. Excuse me. Before I go anywhere else, I've had nothing but messages and all the other stuff. Listen, you've seen my video, you've seen Gary's video. That's it. You know what's happened now. Gary's on another channel. I'm on here. I'm not going to be talking about it again. Gary's my brother. I do love him. It's fine. There's no bad feeling. Gary's left to start his own channel, which is what he wanted. And I'm still here. It's fine. It's good. It's done. Now you've got two channels to watch rather than one. All right? That is it. I'm not going to be talking about it anymore. This is a football channel. Okay? Time to move on. Time to move on. Okay. First of all, West Ham. I'm going to start off by showing off. I know that's it's very unlike me. But you may remember about 4 weeks ago that I broke the news that the Colombian sensation, 20-year-old Colombian sensation that currently plies his trade for Aston Villa, John Duran, Jhon, Duran, was very likely to be coming to West Ham, even though at that time that Fabrizio Romano, was saying that he was going to be going to Chelsea. All the tweets are there. You can have a look. He's going to Chelsea. It's almost a done deal. Well, I was told no. He's leaving Aston Villa because he wants first-team football. He would have gone to Chelsea, but only on the proviso that he gets first-team football, which they are refusing to offer him. It was never going to happen. We were in negotiations with him as well, which was still in the march, and him. We're offering him first-team football. We put a £30 million bid in back when I broke the news 4 weeks ago, which I get no credit for, by the way. I'm trying to ruffle a few feathers on Twitter, but no one's biting. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't give a shit. Don't bother me. I'm not an ITK. I'm an SITK. I'm sometimes in the know. Sometimes. Yes. So we've gone back in again. The first bid was rejected. We've gone back in again for 35 million. And it's looking like we're making real progress on this now because now Fabrizio is involved. You know, he's come late to the party. Do you know what I mean? Fabrizio's involved and he's saying it's more or less a done deal. But then again, he was saying it was more or less a done deal with Chelsea back when I was reporting this. So it isn't yet until it's done. If this happens, I'm going to be ecstatic. Not just because I was right, you know. Not just because I was right. But because I'm really excited about this player. I'm incredibly excited about this player. He's not the finished article. He's 20 years old. His ceiling is up here. 35 million for him. If he even hits 2/3 of his potential, you're going to be quadrupling your money. He's that good. He's that good. He's got the potential to go right to the very top. Fantastic player. People are sort of complaining about his attitude, saying he's got a bad attitude. Well, like I said, I know the backstory here. Not many people do. It wasn't Emery that bought the player. It was a director of football that went out and bought a very good player. It was a good signing, but Emery wanted someone else. So what you've ended up with is a David Moyes, Ben Rama situation. See, it weren't only David Moyes. It can be a bitch, apparently. Apparently, it's quite common between managers. So he felt a little bit frozen out. He's played up. He's played up. He wants out. He doesn't want his career to stall. He doesn't want his development to stall. He wants to play. He wants to be a first-teamer. If he comes to West Ham, he's going to be. That's what he's been told, and that's why he's agreed terms with us, and that's why we're trying to get over the line with Aston Villa now. I think 35 million is fair. I would go as far as 40 for him. Loads of people are not happy with this deal. I am. Yes, fair enough. You go out and get Ivan Toney, a player who I would also love us to sign. Can't sign both, but if we got Toney and didn't get Duran, I'd be happy. Tony's the finished article now. He's 29. He is what he is, but he is kind of on the decline. Even though I would still be happy to sign him. He ain't going to get better over the next 2-3 years. It's just not. You know, it's just biology. He's not going to get better. So John Duran for me would be the one that would excite me most. I think he's got everything. He's 6'1". He's a brick shithouse. He's quick. He can hold up the ball. He shoots. He shoots on sight, you know, and quite often doesn't it, Rosehead? He shoots on sight. He's a very confident player. He believes in his own ability. He's a striker. He's greedy. He wants to score. He causes trouble. He's very strong. This would be very exciting. It really would be. Could be the signing of the window, or even A big claim because of Kudus, signing of the last couple of windows. We'll have to see how it materialises. I do think there's legs in this. I do think we're going to sign John Duran. And I do think that I was going to have been right all along. All right? Not Fabrizio Romano or other people. Just saying. Right, moving on to the next one. Soule, another player that I've been speaking about for a while. We're still in for him. He's still very much on the list. But it looks like Leicester could be stealing a march on us until we swoop him right at the last minute, just as he's about to get his shirt printed. Similarly to what we did with Flynn Downs when he was about to join Palace. Because who are you gonna choose out of Leicester and West Ham? We've got London, you know? West Ham London. It's on the badge. Isn't that right, Karen? I'll talk about her another time, by the way. This is going to be a positive video. I'm trying to make it positive. So, yeah, I still think there's something in Soule as well. I do think that we'll probably push the boat out for him. I'll be gutted if we don't get him. That guy's going to be... He's like a generational talent. He really is. Sorry about the dog, by the way. Right. Moving on. Moving on to other players. We're linked with Kelechi Iheanacho on a free transfer. I'd take him as a squad player. You know, he can play up front, he can play left, he can play right. Good player. Be a good squad player, in my opinion. He's not prolific. He ain't scored many goals in the last 3 years. Even in the Championship, he weren't banging them in. But he's a good player. He's only 27. I think that improves the squad. Good player. Good option. Better than having Danny Ings off the bench. So, yeah, I'll take him. Right back, we know we're in for Kyle Walker-Peters. We know that Southampton want more money than we're willing to give because he's only got a year left on his contract. And now we know that Wan-Bissaka, who is also a target, we're obviously, I think we're using him to kind of, we're using this interest in Wan-Bissaka to provoke Southampton into selling Kyle Walker-Peters. But we'll have to see how successful that plays out. Personally, I think I'd rather have Wan-Bissaka. I'd be happy with either, but out of the two, give me Wan-Bissaka. I like him. I know a lot of people don't. There's a lot of people disagreeing over these targets. Tadebo, the player that we pulled out for because he signed Max Kilman, it wasn't either or. Tadebo's right-footed. He's a centre, right-footed centre-back, and Kilman is left. But what we have got to do now, we've splurged on Kilman, is I think they've got to go and move on another defender before we go out and get Tadebo in. That's going to be Aguirre. They're going to be moving heaven and earth to try and get him out of here, make some money back out of him. So that could happen. That could happen. Tadebo is still very much on. There is a couple of other players that I will be revealing over the next couple of days. I will, but I can't yet. You know, that's how it works. I have to do as I'm told. Otherwise, these people won't tell me things no more. So I'll be able to tell you in the next couple of days. One of them is a Premier League centre-back as well. So, and you'll be very excited as to who it is. So, yes, that's another one. In terms of central midfielders, there isn't really much movement on that front. Obviously, I've spoken about Soule, who can play in central midfield, but we have kind of got an abundance of them. We've got Alford, we've got Earthy, we've got Potts as well. We've still got Downs. Downs, apparently, it's looking likely that he's going to be moved on to Southampton, but there's obviously, you know, a bit of a back and forth over this Kyle Walker-Peters deal. We want that player. So I do think that will happen. I think you'll see Downs going that way and you'll see Kyle Walker-Peters coming this way. I'm a bit sad about that. I'd like to see Downs given a chance, but maybe realistically, is he going to start? And if he's not going to start, is he going to be happy? Probably not. So is it better for the player to go somewhere where he can play? If that's what he wants, yes. So it's down to the player, I think this is ultimately. We know that Danny Ings is still being a baby. He's not actually. He's being smart. He knows we want him out. I mean, we've tried to subsidise his wages. Southampton put a $6 million bid in, and we've even offered to pay part of his wages to get rid of him. He's waiting for a golden handshake. That's what we'll do. We'll bung him $1 million in the end. That's all he's doing. He'll be gone. He'll be gone. I don't blame him. I don't think he's been treated that fairly since he's been here. You know, brought in, you know, completely wrong player. I don't think he did anything wrong. So no, I don't blame the player. I do think he'll be moving on. He won't be staying. He won't be staying. So look, that is it for West Ham transfer news done in a nutshell. There's loads more, but I can't run through them all. There's loads of them. They're the ones that I'm most interested in at the minute. There's others. There's Philogen. There's that Arias. There's there's loads that we're linked with. I can't talk about them all. Let's talk about England. So if you're Scottish, switch off now. Okay, we face Holland tonight at 8 PM semi-final. Spain just breezed past France. They've been phenomenal. That word. Phenomenal. They've been phenomenal the whole way through this tournament. They have, Spain. But if we do get to the final, it's one game. Individually, we're as good, if not better, than Spain. Not as a team. They've been a better team. They've got a better tactician in a dugout. But I'm talking about player for player. On our day, we could beat them, in my opinion. But we do have to get past the Dutch first. We've got to. The big sticking point for me is that forward position, because I don't think that the performance was as bad as what everyone made out last time. Not really. The team performance was better. We were pressing more. We looked like more of a team, but we didn't have a bloody striker. I mean, in the first half, you know, we was creating chances. That ball that Saka flashed across the goal, Kane ain't there. There's no one there. We're playing without a striker. We're carrying him. And we don't need to. You've got Tony if you want a player to sort of lead the line, hold the ball up. You've got Watkins if you want an energetic player to sort of run in behind. And we've got better options than Kane. I really hope he gets over this obsession. I don't think he's going to, because he's a captain. But even if he plays, I still think that we can get past Holland. I think we're going to beat them. They have got players that have got experience against us, the likes of Gakpo and even Depay, you know, who's always seems to feature in their team. So they have got experience against us. But I do think, and obviously Virgil van Dijk as well, but I do think that we're going to get past them. I think we'll be in that final. It will be an England-Spain final. That's what I believe. I'm going to be very shocked if it's not. Let me know what your thoughts are. Anyway, look, that's it from me. Very short, sharp ramble. Job done. Yeah, moving on. There's going to be other shows coming up. We're probably going to do a Sunday night booze up this week as well. Just going to come on and have a laugh, really. Probably three or four of us, something like that. Just for a couple of hours, probably from 8 p.m. And there'll be a couple of other shows coming up this week as well, a couple of two headers. So, yeah, and some rambles in between, no doubt. Okay. It's done. Here we go. Come on, you Irons, and come on, England.